Mastering neutrality through your voice so you can deepen peace. Who wants a little bit more peace in the world, in themselves, in their families? Yes, please. So how many times have we looked at a headline recently? How many times have our kids made a snarky remark, or an extended family member breached some trust, or maybe you didn't get the payment that you were going to get at work and couldn't pay your bill? How many things out here have we let disturb our peace and disturb that sense of neutrality? So neutrality is a space of being. It's a certain frequency of our birthright of wholeness, love, and peace. It's such a beautiful space. It's such a beautiful frequency. Why would we ever want to leave that? And the reason is because there is a voice of fear. That is the voice of the ego that takes us from that neutrality and just densifies everything, drops our vibration. We get into emotional reactivity and we see everything as this cause for dis-ease, for anxiety, for lack of happiness. We use it as an excuse. But the truth is that neutrality is always there. That frequency of wholeness, love, and peace, it's always there. So how can we deepen our peace and live from this neutrality more and more? Well, it's a practice for sure. But one of the practices I love is the voice, and it's called emptying. One of my teachers in sound therapy school, her name was Vicki Dodd. She talked about this emptying process that the voice does to process denser emotional vibration, to bring us back to a fluidity. And what she called being fluid is what we're referring to as this neutrality, this sense of deep peace that's always there for us. I like to see it as the clouds in front of the sun. The sun is our neutrality. The sun is our fluidity. It's this deep peace that's always there. And these clouds are there. And so if we can empty and sing and process these dense frequencies of emotional reactivity and the voice of fear from the ego, then they dissipate. They go away. And what are we left with? Our neutrality, the light, the spirit that we are. There is a story from The New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. He talks about this Zen master in Japan, and he lived on this street along with this family who had a teenager. This teenager came home one day and told her parents that she was pregnant. The parents lost it, and they said, "Who is the father?" And she said, she got nervous, and she said, "The Zen master next door." The Zen master had quite a reputation for being a Zen master, and they went over, they didn't care who it was, and they said, "Oh my gosh, how dare you get our child pregnant?" And they were just horrified. So they slandered his name and his reputation throughout the whole town. His response was, "Is that so?" He didn't leave his space of peace or neutrality. He just said, "Is that so?" Well, during this whole pregnancy, his whole reputation was slandered more and more. He was talked about in a negative way. The baby was born, and the parents brought the baby to the Zen master and said, "You're the father, you take care of him." And he said, "Is that so?" And he took care of the baby. The young girl started to feel bad about lying, and she told her parents the Zen master was not the father. The butcher's son down the street was. The parents went back over to the Zen master and said, "We are so sorry, and we will take the baby back now." And the Zen master says, "Is that so?" and hands the baby over. This story shows the power of not letting external circumstances ruffle our feathers. How many times have each one of us, and myself included, felt so uncomfortable by someone's perception of us that we would defend ourselves till the cows came home. We would defend and would say, "No, this isn't true about me." People are going to have the goggles on that give them their perspectives of us? Can we have the strength to say, is this so? Without reacting. Oh my gosh, this story really spoke to my heart. But how do we get to this space of neutrality of just, is that so? And just staying so in the present moment that we're not swayed to get into reactivity either way. Well, I found that the voice is a wonderful tool to process this. Now, you have to have the wherefore that you're in the reactivity. But once you do, and you can feel the contrast from your neutrality to this dense reactivity, you have to have that moment of pause to realize that that's happening. But if you do, and you're like, oh my gosh, I really, really want to come from neutrality. I really don't want to live in this reactivity. That's when you can do this next process I'm going to tell you about. It's called emptying. This emptying process helps bring us back to this fluidity that's always there. And so what we do is you feel the frustration, you feel that voice of fear and aggravation and overwhelm and not fairness and all that. You feel it, and then you let your voice have it. And you start with a groan, and you let it almost like come into a babble. You don't use words, you just use sound like this. It sounds ridiculous, it looks ridiculous, but it is so freeing. Get in the shower and just do it there. Close the door. Do it in your car by yourself. But the thing is, this is going to lighten the frequency heavy on your heart. I've personally been going through something that I've been practicing this emptying process over and over again in the shower. And oh my gosh, it's bringing the light forward. It's dissipating those clouds, the frequencies of cloud energy, that density. So do you want to deepen your peace? Do you want to be like that Zen master and just say, is that so? And be so present in the moment and just be willing to accept what's happening with absolutely no resistance. Okay. And let life work itself out. I'm inspired. I'm going to do this too. And I hope you'll give this a try, this emptying process. So your voice is a superpower. Did you know that? Your voice is a superpower. But it's been shut down a lot. But your voice is an amazing emotional processor. It's a processor of pain, trauma, wounds, emotional habits, thought patterns, all form and structure that you're living with. Your voice can process that, can empty those frequencies out. The only reason those past frequencies are still living with you is because things happen too much, too soon. That's the definition of trauma. And you don't have time to catch up and process the energy, so it gets stuffed down. Your voice helps you process that old energy. If you're willing to have your voice, if you're willing to receive your own voice. Now, I know that can be hard. And there's a lot of anxiety, and there's a lot of vibrational balls and chains that keep our voice silent and keep that superpower at bay. So if that's the case for you, make sure you check out in the descriptions the Art of Being Sung class. If you can't make the class, then make sure you schedule a free discovery call so we can talk about what's holding your voice back, what's capping your potency and your superpower ability to use your voice to heal, to step in to your soul calling, to step into life more fully. Because once you free your voice, your whole life gets more free. So if you'd like to explore that, join my Mastering the Art of Being Sung class or schedule a discovery call. I hope you really start this emptying process. If you have any questions about this, put them in the comments. And be sure to share this video with friends that could use it. Let's all come back to a space of neutrality, which is our birthright. We are whole, we are love, we are peace. It's our birthright to experience this sense of neutrality. And it's only the voice of fear, which connects the ego, that keeps us from that neutrality. I hope you'll like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.